Welcome into another edition of the Leadership Library, hosted by CEO and author Rocky Romanella. Rocky is the author of the book Tighten the Lug Nuts, The Principles of Balanced Leadership, and has over 40 years of business experience as a prominent member of the UPS Supply Chain Solutions team, as well as the CEO of Unitech Global Services. So sit back, grab your notebook, and take a seat, and get ready for this edition of the Leadership Library.
Welcome to the Leadership Library. I'm your host, Rocky Romanella. Today we're going to continue on this concept of the Big Eight. The next two I'm going to talk about can sometimes be difficult ones to translate throughout the organization. And I clearly understand that as you go through the organization, these may be two that people really start to think, well, I really don't play really much in this arena, don't really think I can add much to this. But I think there are ways for you to show them that they can. The first is improving your capital structure. That's such an important one. You know, people talk about all the time that if you have an organization with great leadership but poor capital structure, it's hard to fix. But if you have an organization with good capital structure and difficult leadership, you can fix that. You can fix the leadership, you can get people more engaged, but it's hard to do if you don't have the right capital structure. So the capital structure is so important. We help as individuals inside the organization to help our organization improve the capital structure by the way we run the business. If we run a tight business, if we're hitting our EBITDA numbers, if we're hitting our profitability numbers, our gross profitability numbers, if we're as efficient as we can, if we're doing a good job of this kind of operating leverage of the jaws of life versus the jaws of death, we help our organization improve our capital structure. When it comes time for us to make a capital investment, it's much easier for us to get the funds associated because we have such a good capital structure and such a good organization, and we have a very good forward-looking organization. So I think it's important to figure out ways to get the people inside the organization to understand how they can help in that. Clearly, they're not the ones speaking to the bankers or the investors, but they certainly can help by the way the organizations run so that we can improve our capital structure and be that company that's not over leveraged, but being in a good place. I think the second side of that is to understand the whole debt side of an organization. The understanding of what we spend. So for example, you think about not only wages, but you think about benefits, you think about health and welfare, you think about pensions and things like that. So what roles do we play? What is the full, as I'm leading an organization, if I'm leading a small part of the organization, do I understand the whole debt side of things? Do I understand what role I can play? Do I understand the things that impact, understanding the debt structure? So I think that's such an important part of it as well. And so I know these are difficult concepts, not so much from a concept point of view, because people today are very smart. They understand these things. But it's not so much understanding them from a math perspective. It's understanding what is the role I play in it. Because if you can reduce your debt, then you can start to generate free cash flow, which then allows you to do more things. Maybe put together a bonus plan inside the organization, maybe have your 401 match. Those are all the good things you can do inside an organization when you're generating free cash flow, when you have a better debt structure, when you're operating as efficiently as you can. So I think there's ways for you to do that. It's going to take some creative ability to communicate. But I think once people understand that you trust them enough, that you believe in them enough, that you have enough respect for them to include them in these conversations, especially as part of a business planning process, and then you're going through the results, I think that's so important. And I think you should think of ways to incent them, right? Whether it's through a bonus plan, whether it's through a 401k match, what are the things that you can do to help them understand these concepts, participate, and then get the reward of their actions and the results that they get. So now we're up to number 6. In our next episode, we'll go through numbers 7 and 8, and that'll be our Big 8. But I think you can see that we're touching on people, customers, share owners, and stakeholders. Be safe. Thank you for joining us on the Leadership Library. Until our next episode, thank you so much for listening.